on a new adventure.
Randy? Claim this one, you bitch!
That was like... What?
What's that?
Yeah.
I got to pee. Yeah, the eyes would have popped open. Brunswick Picture House.
You know what he's missing? A small contract with Disney where he makes some stupid joke and it doesn't really resonate, and then just cuts up to was it Mortimer and what's the other?
Oh, the two old guys.
To the Temple of Randicus.
The actual Book of Randicus.
Thank you all very much for coming to worship this evening.
This came out 12 days ago. You have no clue how bad I wanted to watch this.
We welcome all visitors to this temple as equals. Your gender identity, sexual preference, political beliefs, fetishes and phobias are none of our fucking business. Nor is your current address. We welcome you regardless of where you're from, or perhaps more importantly, regardless of which bit of the earth your mother happened to be on when you were lifted from her stomach or pushed out of her vaginal canal. It doesn't bother us. Seriously. We had someone in from Ocean Shores last night. We let them have a seat and everything. It's a very broad church. It's a fucking broad church.
Oh, I was going to say, his audio is wrong. Chapter 1, verse 7. Just blows up.
Hello there, what's your name?
I love it when he does that.
Am I looking at someone? Anyone in that general vicinity?
Speak up.
Am I too low? You there? You? No, fuck that side. Hello, what's your name? What is it? Wendy. Wendy! How are you, Wendy?
I'm fantastic, thanks for asking.
Oh, thank you for coming to my show. Wendables, where do you live?
Down the road.
Just fucking down the road. You're a local, Wendy, you've been here for a long time.
I'm local, but only 12 years. So.
Oh, 12 years, that's not local. How long do you have to live here before you're a local?
20.
20? Oh, what's that, mate? Someone was like, well, yeah. Local Jews are born here and die here. Wendy, good on you. Do you come to many shows here in the beautiful Brunswick Picture House?
I try to come to as many as I can.
Well, thank you for choosing this one. I'm honoured to have you here.
Honoured.
Yeah, let's hear it for Wendy. Someone wants to clap.
Good on you.
Legend, Wendy. Hey, actually, as a local, Wendy, you can help me out with this. I came here through Byron Bay, and I just happened to drive through at this moment where the entire sky was just fucking full of bats. Does that happen often?
Every night, mate.
Mate, I've been to Byron a bunch of times, never seen the bats. Freak me the fuck out. We have bats, I go from Melbourne, there's heaps of bats in Melbourne, but this was phenomenal. It was like, no shit I've ever seen. Just millions of, what's the collective noun for bats? Anybody know? A colony? A cloud.
A cloud.
Bats. A bats. Yeah, let's go with the bats. Just a bats. Just freaking the fuck out. It's going, too many bats! I think I got on the wrong train. Is this the way to the ocean? Don't speak that. Can you speak any seagull? Ah, shit. Yeah. Lauren's a very cool place. I feel like a seagull amongst the bats myself when I'm there, Wendy. It's a weird place, you know, I was there, everyone's fucking cool. There were kids on the beach today.
My response.
Just in
You didn't hear that.
balloons. That's cool.
You're just having a nang, mate. You gonna share?
And I saw heaps of people cruising around in sweet cars just cranking sweet tunes. Like 5 in a row. Just it's like, oh, that's fucking cool. I wish I was that cool, you know. But I just don't have the playlist to back it up.
This week's podcast is just brought to you by Guns. There's nothing cool about driving around in your car with the windows rolled down, just cranking a true crime podcast. And I always seem to pull up at traffic lights and lock eyes with the person in the car next to me, just at the most horrific bit of detail. And I have to nod my head like I'm listening to a cool song. Just as like, that's when the murderer disemboweled his 38th victim. I'm like, yeah! Have you heard this one? It's a classic. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it on iTunes. Oh. I'm a living joke.
But don't worry, you're in safe hands, my brothers and sisters. I know the cloak and the candles, particularly in the current climate, may be a little triggering for some people, but we're in this together tonight, okay? This is a group effort, it's about evolution. We're going to collectively rewrite the rules tonight, my beautiful Brunswick Heads parishioners. Starting with turning your phones off, alright? Just if they're on, just fucking switch them off. The show doesn't go for that long, just be present. It'll be fine. And if you do leave your phone on, fucking commit. Take calls. Make calls. Come up here and make calls. Come up here and make calls with your wireless headphones in like an asshole. Couldn't give a fuck. Don't take photos. Resist the temptation to take a photo for an hour. How are you going to get through it? What are you going to do with those photos? Show them to your grandchildren? Oh, look, this is when I went to see Randy. What the fuck? Is a Randy? Your memories are worthless, Grandpa. We had a meeting. You're out of the family. So take photos at your own risk. Who's having a beverage this evening, alcoholic style? Yes, if you have a drink, that's great. If you're on drugs, even better. Apparently, I'm very entertaining if you're high. There's a lot of colour and movement. It's like a live cartoon.
Live
So
cartoon.
now's the time to man into that second cookie. I know you got I'll get your number here on Northern Coastage. So we're going to have some fun tonight. It's going to be a loving experience. The only stipulation is that we respect each other's existing belief systems, alright? I know it's a bit fucking churchy up here, but the idea is that we all move towards a common collective belief. And to speed that process up a bit, it's best that we have a prejudice-free dialogue this evening. Unless you're a Scientologist, in which case you can go fuck yourself.
Let's use Tom to that.
People are very protective of their faith. And rightfully so. Faith is everything. Faith can provide purpose, comfort, structure, and meaning. Faith can also protect bigots, justify atrocities, and perpetuate discrimination. But so did the Jackson family, apparently, so let's concentrate on the positive, shall we? The point is,
There's
you've
no
got to
point.
have faith. Alright?
Gotta have
Faith.
You've got to have faith. You've got to have faith.
You've seen this before. I can judge by the tears in my eyes and yours. Yes.
And for this piece of information, I actually own an autographed copy of George Michael's Faith on cassette tape. How cool is that?
It's impressive.
How obsolete is that? You can't listen to it, just own it.
Just own it.
If I want to listen to it, I'm going to have to go and buy a tape deck and then wind 1.5 meters of tape back into the cassette with a pencil, like we used to do when we wanted to listen to Dire Straits on a road trip with our parents, with all the windows rolled down, because that's what we used to do before air conditioning was invented. On our way to SeaWorld, because that's when we went on holidays before animal rights were invented. Eating ice creams on the way, because that's what we used to do before injecting insulin was invented. It was a different time back then. I'm at that age now where I've started using phrases like, I'm at that age now. I'm also at that age now where I haven't yet, and I don't believe I ever will, resort to vaping in any shape or form. I'm never going to vape. I'm not going to become a fucking vapor. It just feels like a betrayal to all of those sweet, sweet cigarettes that I smoked throughout my life. Like, if you used to smoke cigarettes and now you vape, you're a real piece of shit. You used to be cool, man. Now you're standing there just on some street corner filleting a mini exhaust pipe like Fonzie's shit sibling. You used to be fucking cool.
But it smells
I
like
remember
cotton
the glory
candy.
days of smoking. This whole room would have been full of cigarette smoke. We all would have stunk like shit, but we didn't care because we were fucking cool. There would have been ashtrays everywhere. You couldn't move for ashtrays. Now you can't fucking find one anywhere. Spare a thought for the ashtray manufacturers. They're all living in their cars now, thanks to you fucking vapors. And it's not just the ashtray people. What about the people that make matches? Spare a thought for the companies that used to print nightclub logos onto those little books of matches so that grizzled old homicide detectives could fish one out of the pocket of a corpse and know where to start looking for the killer. Thousands upon thousands of unsolved homicides just because you fuckers want to vape. I see it. Thank you, solitary clapper. Just one person. Yes, I agree, but no one else does, so I'll shut up. George Michael, eh? Where did George go? Someone said to the bathroom, and someone followed up very quickly with, he's dead. I'm aware of that, but I just went like, where did George go? Where's George? I mean, statistically speaking, around 50% of you believe that George Michael is currently experiencing some variety of afterlife, depending on your religious flavour of choice, of course. Some of you believe he's having a lovely time reunited with his dead relatives. Some of you believe he's awaiting resurrection to face his final judgment. And some of you believe that George Michael's extracurricular activities, such as touching other men's penises with his own penis, for example, will have earned him an eternity as a rotisserie chicken in the kebab shop down there. Around 7% of you believe that George Michael is currently making a comeback, possibly as a platypus. Depends on his deeds. And the remaining 43% of you either believe that George Michael is slowly fertilising the soil in Highgate Cemetery, or you don't really give a shit either way, or you didn't fill out your 2016 census form. Who didn't fill out their 2016 census form? Come on. Yes, I didn't fucking When did you fill out your 2016 census form?
I did indeed.
Oh, you did? Hey, Wendy, remember, it was a couple of years ago, but what did you tick for faith or religious beliefs? Just bearing in mind this is a judgment-free environment and everybody else in the room has shared something intimately personal about themselves. Now it's your turn. What's that, mate?
It's a trap.
It's a trap! No, there's no traps here, my friend. It's just fun times. What's your name? Weapon? Greg? Gregory? I'm going to come back to you, Wendy. We're just there to address Greg from Did you fill out your 2016 census form, Gregory?
Too late.
Too late? What do you mean, mate?
They were very upset with me.
You what happened?
I missed it.
You missed the 2016 census. Where were you, mate? Just come off fucking home somewhere. What happened, Greg? When you were overseas, where were you, man? Just in Mullen? Just fucking just off the grid, mate. No, Greg? What would you have ticked for faith or religious belief if you had to fill it out? Do you have a faith system?
I'm a Jedi.
Oh, you're a Jedi! That's an option on the census these days. Do you have a practicing faith that goes along with your Jediism?
Judaism.
You just using the Force on Tuesdays. The rest of the time you just Just imagining you just going like this and the bomb floating across the room into your hand. I can't see you, Greg, though, making some assumptions about your character. I hope I'm at the ballpark. In case the cameras pick you up, you're probably just sitting there in a business suit going, I've never tried drugs in my entire life. I'm merely on my way from Sydney to Brisbane for a business trip. I'm insulted. I'm fucking punching cards like a weapon.
Don't judge me.
Oh no, given the amount of time you took to answer that, I'm going to say that was the latter.
Anyway, Wendy.
Wendy, what did you tick for faith? You've had plenty of time to think about it now. Did you tick anything for faith or religious belief?
Yeah, I'm an atheist, mate.
You're an atheist?
Yeah.
It's an atheist fans in the house.
I'm a Pastafarian. See the calendar?
Blackness and abyss. Never been here before, never come back. So where do you think George Michael went?
In the ground, I believe.
Just in the ground? Yeah, nice one.
To the
Personally, Wendy,
bathroom.
I believe that George Michael was abducted by aliens. They were very active in 2016, the year that George Michael died. Those musician abducting aliens. Fuck, they got some rippers that year. George Michael, David Bowie, Prince, Sharon Jones, Merle Haggard, fucking Leonard Cohen. It must have been some sort of alien university O-Week challenge. Scull a pint of hydrogen and bring back a popular musician from planet Earth.
Earthlings. It's closed.
So this book here, my friends, is the Book of Randicus. Okay? What the fuck is the Book of Randicus? Great question, Wendy. Thank you. Always asking questions. Thanks for bringing your own microphone too, Wendy. Excellent forward planning on your part. In case you haven't noticed, just to bring it all up to speed, I have invented a new religion, okay? Pretty straightforward. Keep up, it's not Frasier. But this one Frasier fan. This religion is based on the philosophy that Homo sapiens were elevated to the top of the food chain 70,000 years ago via the intervention of an intergalactic messiah named Beryl. Because fucking why not?
Why not?
Now, I have called it a religion religion because it seems like the most effective method of recruitment, but the teachings are grounded in scientific fact. Okay? For example, we know that at least 10 different species of human lived on planet Earth, many of them simultaneously. That much, at least, we knew to be true. We also know that 70,000 years ago, Homo sapiens shot inexplicably to the top of the food chain, and they have remained there ever since. There's varying theories as to how that happened. My theory, and this is where the religion part kicks in, is that Beryl was an intergalactic missionary.
Known as Zordon.
Choosing one species from each planet, kickstarting their intelligence, leaving them to evolve for several thousand years, then later returning to those planets and recruiting these newly evolved species to help care for and maintain the multiverse. Simple as that. The Book of Randicus teaches us that Beryl came to planet Earth, chose Homo sapiens.
5 of them with attitude.
70,000 years to evolve, which means she could be back here any day now, so we need to crack the fuck on with becoming enlightened. Any questions? Wendy? Excellent! We are ready to crack on. Yeah, that's right. Smattering of applause. I am sensing a little bit of cynicism, particularly from the Greg region of the audience.
Screw you, Greg.
I've been doing a bit of a missionary tour around the country to promote this concept, and you might be surprised to learn that a lot of people are getting on board with this shit. I've been on the road for about a year now. I've met some wonderful people. I've also mastered the art of making porridge in a motel room kettle. Now, I tell you, there's nothing more inspiring than looking across a car park to a busy freeway whilst scraping glutinous oats off the bottom of a calcified electrical appliance from the mid-1970s. It goes well with the side of suicide contemplation, I've found. I do like a roadside motel, though, particularly when travelling in remote areas. Airbnbs in the middle of nowhere can be a little bit fucking terrifying, can't they?
Yep.
I thought you said that this was an adjoining dwelling. Well, the beds are adjoining. True story. Regional South Australia is a chilling part of the country. I love being on the road. I'm a big fan of it. I have a lot of fun, and there's not many downsides. But there is one thing about constantly travelling and staying in different places. One thing that I'm sick of. Do you know what I'm fucking sick of?
Wait a second.
Seagulls.
Thank you very much. Call and response. I am fucking sick of rating my experience.
That's everywhere you go now.
Why can't I just stay somewhere or eat something or travel somewhere without immediately having to fill out some customer survey to reassure the business I've just interacted with, like I'm trying to dig a codependent lover out of a post-coital shame spiral?
It's just with Uber and Lyft. It's like, how would you rate this person? Would you drive them again? It's like, can I get to the next one, please?
No, it's give me more money.
Did you have a nice time? How was it for you? What can we do together? What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? I mean, look, by all means, provide an avenue for complaint. Like, if I'm unhappy, I'll be the first to write a strongly worded email or perhaps slip a crude drawing into a suggestion box. But if you don't hear from me, just assume everything was fine, our transaction is complete. Fucking back yourself! It's everywhere now. There's touch screens now at the airports, like a spectrum of emojis. So you press the face that's closest to your own face, having just experienced whatever your face has just experienced. They have them outside the toilets at international airports. Touchscreens! Outside the toilets! Now, just for the moment, let's ignore the fact that that touchscreen is a giant petri dish for literally thousands of stool samples. I still resent having to rate my experience of going to the fucking toilet. Oh gosh, okay, I've got to do this screen. No,
I did wonderful.
The next flight.
That one stand-up urinal has zero pressure.
Okay, here we go. Okay, golly gosh. Alright, which face most accurately depicts my emotional state, having just taken a shit at the airport?
The one that looks like
Tragically desperate?
Kill the Batman.
Humiliated. I'll just go with, I didn't wash my hands. I can't tell if you guys are on board with this or not. Just by a round of applause, who here is sick of doing surveys? Who's That was a survey, you fucking idiot! Just surveying your room, you're like, yeah, we hate surveys. That's how they get you. Stay on your toes, brother kids. Stay vigilant. What was your name, man? Sorry.
I'm John.
Why don't we do a little photo together?
That would be so good.
Let's do that. Hey! Me and John at the petrol station. Good on you, John.
My wife
And Randy was never seen again.
is 6.
Oh, grouse.
And we loved your show, was it? Something on Elm Street? Or
Which one? Oh, the Ricketts Lane.
Ricketts Lane,
Oh,
yeah.
grouse. Oh, good
Ricketts
on you, John.
Lane.
Good on you,
I
John.
love Ricketts Lane.
Oh, well, so do we. Well, bloody nice to meet you.
Oh, you too.
What an absolute delight.
Are you still doing things with Sammy
Yeah,
Joe?
yeah, we're still doing lots of stuff. We're working on a new show, but I'm off overseas in a couple of weeks. But yeah, he's still doing stuff. Yes.
Poor John.
Oh, Randy, it's been so nice to meet you.
Mate, it's been an absolute delight. Thanks very much for saying good day.
Yeah, the tracker's in place.
I would now like to take a reading from the Book of Randicus,
Please.
chapter 7, verse 69. No, grow up.
I will not.
It happens to be verse 69. It's pure coincidence. It's a good verse, right? Could have been any verse. We're all adults here. Disgusting. 69 is pretty funny, though. Totally impractical on an evolutionary level, but just fucking classic comedy in the bedroom. Dinner for two?
Dinner for two. God.
I always think of Pompeii when I'm in that position. You know, like when Pompeii, a volcano erupted and everybody just got frozen in the positions they were in at the time? I'm always worried I'm going to be in the 69 position, there's going to be a volcanic eruption, and I'm going to get frozen, and 2,000 years from now, school children will be giggling at my undignified demise in their holographic history books. Like, oh, I know how humiliating. It's always been conflicting, the 69 position, isn't it? It's like doing your tax on a carnival ride. You don't know whether to focus or just kick back and enjoy the view. There's a lot going on. Genitals in your face, face in your genitals. It's always a bit frantic. I've not had many relaxing 69s, is what I'm trying to say. No, shut up, Greg, I'm trying to do a reading here.
Shut up, Greg.
Oh, fuck, hang on, I'm on the wrong page. Don't fucking patronize me.
Oh, I almost had it.
I was waiting to do this.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Oh, I was on the right page. And lo, Beryl held aloft her hand, and spake she in a voice that rippled through the tall grasslands, like the uninvited breath of the stranger's hound on the exposed leg beneath the outdoor cafe table. Consider your fingertip, spake Beryl, and on which she spake. Your fingertip is currently harbouring tens of millions of living organisms. Just the tip of your finger. Consider that for a moment. Now consider that your entire body is home to 100 trillion non-human cells. Each of you carry around 4.4 million non-human genes. 90% of who you are is not actually who you are. Her words rang out across the valley. Microbes, my brothers and sisters. I'm talking about microbes. Now, consider your fingertip is planet Earth, and the rest of your body is the surrounding universe, allowing for the limitless possibilities that presents. Given the choice, would you doom your species to evolutionary stagnation on the tip of a finger? Or would you prefer to see some really fucking cool shit?
It's another survey. I'm not gonna get tricked.
I had a,
Wait, what did he say?
cool shit, fair enough.
Bullshit.
I had a really fucked up thing. Stay with me. A really fucked up thing happened to me on this missionary tour.
He ran into
I had a
Morgan.
near-death experience recently, actually, quite recently. I genuinely nearly died. What happened was I nearly died from food poisoning, which is a bullshit way to die.
Pufferfish.
What are people going to say about me when I'm gone? Yeah, well, he always did make poor menu choices.
He sure was
What
purple.
happened to me was I ate something funky.
I didn't know he couldn't breathe.
Massive shopping mall where all the obnoxious bogans go and they're really rude to the staff. You know the big fucking mall, what's it called, the really big one? No, not Westfield, the other one. What's it called? The massive people are assholes, you know. No, not that one. Fuck, what's it called? Barley! It's called Barley. So I was in. I ate something in Barley, right? And it disagreed with me to the point that I got salmonella. And it was so serious that I got an abscess on my spleen and had to have my fucking spleen removed. I know. If you don't know what the spleen does, by the way, it filters your blood and it helps in the fight against nasty bacteria. It's kind of like the organ equivalent of a nightclub bouncer. You don't really need it, and no one really likes it, but if it's not there, someone's gonna get their dick out on the dance floor. I was in hospital for about 6 weeks, just laying there. 6 weeks! Just contemplating my own mortality, when a single thought struck me with absolute clarity. I'm just a temporary microbe, made up of other microbes, on a planet of microbes in an ever-expanding universe of microbes. Suddenly I was an empty shell, open to limitless possibilities. All I needed was a sign, And that's when the old man in the bed next to mine turned to me and died. And while rifling through his possessions, I found a book of daily Buddhist meditations. And I turned to that date, and it said, each morning we are born again. And I looked at him and said, not today, Grandpa. Not today. But it planted a seed, right? And I was already kind of into Buddhism, but this led me to get deeper and deeper into Buddhism. I had dabbled previously, I've spoken about it on stage before, but after this I became quite devout. I had a meditation practice every day, a daily gratitude practice. I went to Myanmar and slaughtered thousands of Muslims. Just trying to be a good Buddhist. They lost a few karmic points when they started dabbling in genocide, didn't they? But I did genuinely go and stay in a Buddhist temple up in Japan, up in the mountains of Koyasan for a couple of weeks. And I got up every morning at like 5 a.m. and I prayed with the monks. And then I go back to my little room.
Because you were there?
With tatami mats and simple, spiritually mindful design. And I would masturbate to internet pornography. And I thought, this experience may be lost on me. This is not connection. This is total isolation. What am I doing? Like, what the fuck am I doing? What is this? I mean, what are we as a species? I mean, when did we lose faith in ourselves and decided that it was more fun to own everything than take care of it? Let's face it, humans were never meant to be dominant. It doesn't make sense. We don't know how to behave at the top of the food chain. We didn't earn it. You think lions and crocodiles have existential crises? No, they just move quick, get strong, eat shit. They don't have time to jerk off in a temple, right? And before you say, I'm more disciplined than you, Randy, I'm not like that. Bullshit! You all wank in your own temples. Humans evolved to be in the middle. That's why we're so bad at running things. We've got 2 million years of chemical evolution telling us to run away from everything or stab it to death or fuck it in the air. Beryl gave us the opportunity for enlightenment and we fucking wasted it. We lost our way. And if you don't believe me, look around you. Look at this room full of magnificent creatures with limitless potential for symbiotic compassion and spiritual perfection, paying good money to see a man that's dedicated the best years of his life into finding a way to monetize screaming at strangers. I mean, fucking look at my face. What are you even watching right now? And what the fuck do I have to show for this? Fuck all. 38 years old, no partner, no kids, no assets, no savings. The most expensive thing I own is an autographed copy of George Michael's Fate on cassette tape. Oh, I don't fucking know. I don't know, sometimes you do. You do, you travel around and you do shows. I don't know how I got here, I don't know. Thank you, I love you too. That's the spirit. That's where we need to start, a bit of that shit.
They have gazelle and turtle.
Still on the road. Oh, I don't even know where I am right now. Yeah, I will. All right. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm just tired. Okay, love you too. Okay, bye.
Up top.
You know, actually, it was my uncle
My
who
eye.
got me into comedy inadvertently. I've got this uncle. He's an amateur magician. And by that I mean he really wants to be a magician. But he's just fucking amateur! Just fucking awful! And he always does these does Christmas magic shows every Christmas. And when I say that, you're probably picturing like card tricks and rabbits out of hats. No. He's like an amateur escapologist, daredevil, illusionist kind of magician, just doing dangerous shit with no training and not a lot going on upstairs. One of my earliest childhood memories, right, he got up on top of the pergola, right, in a straitjacket.
Pergola.
And he's going to jump off the pergola into the swimming pool and not surface until he got out of the straitjacket. None of us told him not to do it. So he's on the pergola, wrapped in his straitjacket, and he does this thing before he does any trick. He goes, 3, 2, 1, ready! It's like his little catchphrase. So he's up there and he goes, 3, 2, 1, ready! He takes a step back to run up into the pool and just went, straight through the pergola, impaled his shoulder on a star picket, tore all the ligaments in his ankle, and when he landed, he made such a loud noise it frightened the dog, and the dog bit him on the face. So Christmas was
This is why we don't have family reunions.
Always awesome.
And that year, he wouldn't let us take him to the hospital. He's like, I'll be fine. He just pulled himself off the star picket, cracked a stubby, and went back to the barbecue. You know what I mean? But as a result, he fucked his shoulder so bad, he fucked all the nerves in his arm, and he's got no feeling in his left hand. He can still pick stuff up, but he can't feel things, and he always says horrible shit.
Now he can do magic.
Yeah, Randy, I don't even need the missus anymore. I just close my eyes and think of Mariah Carey. Yeah, the man's a fucking unit. So, this one Christmas, this is how I got in comedy, this one Christmas, someone from his local RSL club had given him a little Pee-wee 100 motorbike, like a little children's motorbike.
Oh, the
I'm
little-
not sure why, maybe they wanted him dead. But anyway, he turned up to Christmas. He turned up to Christmas, right, with this little Pee-wee 100 motorbike, and he built a ramp in his ute. He built a ramp that folded out of the tray of his ute and then up over the cab of his little truck. And he had this idea that he was going to drive his little ute around to school fetes and county fairs and stuff and do jumps on his little motorbike in his ute ramp. Again, none of us told him not to do it. He turned up with this thing and he set it up across the road, and we were having Christmas at my family's house in the country in central Victoria. There's heaps of paddocks around. We're in the middle of nowhere, so he loves having Christmas there because he can do dangerous shit in the paddocks, right? He really spread out. So he built the obstacle course, and he's across the road all morning setting this up. And we're in the house and we hear 3, 2, 1, ready! So we go across the road, and there he is. Picture this, he's a massive dude, huge guy, strawberry blonde mullet, big blonde handlebar mustache with a nicotine stain in the middle, like he's been eating an ass, and he just sits there. Right? He's huge on this tiny motorbike. He's like, here we go. And he took off, and he was like weaving through the cones, popping little monos. He did about 25 minutes as a warm-up. We're like, actually, this is pretty entertaining. And he gets to the end of his warm-up and parks the bike about maybe 20 metres from where he's going to start his run-up to his big jump. And he added a little bit of showbiz flair here. I'll never forget it. He got off the bike and he pretended that the motorbike was too heavy for him to push. Massive.
Dan, do me a favor. The greenish towel. Hand me that greenish towel. I'm not getting too excited over here. I just... This chair is... Cushion is...
Faded.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like his uncle's left hand. I can't feel my arse.
Major pain. I can't feel my legs. Bubba, because we ain't there. Oh,
Dude, tiny motorbike, he just goes, oh, it's too heavy, kids, I can't push it. They're like, yay! 5 stars! You're a comedic genius. He's like, and then he just went, oh, butter it. Picked the motorbike up, put it under his arm, and marched back to the start line. Like a fucking legend. So, he gets to the start line, he goes to put the motorbike down, but he can't.
Uh-oh.
Because when he picked it up, he inadvertently put his left hand on the exhaust pipe. He's got a feeling in his left hand. The exhaust pipe very hot. By the time he made it back to the start line, his left hand had fused to the exhaust pipe, melted to the motorbike. He's like, oh, I can't put it down. We're all like, the smell of burning flesh. All the adults are pouring beer on it. He's like, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. But it's fine. That year, he let us take him to the hospital. You have a motorbike attached to your hand. Get in the fucking car. But because we were having Christmas at my house in the country, everybody was shit-faced because everybody was staying over. Everyone was camping, so nobody could drive him. Except for me, I'd been on my learner's permit for 1 week. 2-hour drive to the hospital. I'm just like,
2 hours.
The whole way.
I was thinking he sent the motorcycle down. This is the arm just bottomed out.
On the back seat, motorbike on his lap. His left hand fused into the exhaust pipe and then just sculling a long neck with his right hand. And that is not what got me into comedy, but that is definitely what got me into drinking. That's tough as fuck. So it's Christmas night in emergency. So there's chaos. There's people impaled on Christmas trees and kids that have eaten Christmas baubles and shit. And so it's crazy. But he walks through the doors carrying a motorbike, and the entire room went silent. I've never seen anything like it. All these people just went.
It's like, I'm good.
He marches up to the counter, slams the motorbike down in front of the triage nurse, and just goes, I've done a mischief! They took him into... goes, I've done a mischief! They took him into surgery. He was in there for 6 hours. I had to sit in the waiting room and wait for him the whole time. And while I was there was an episode of Seinfeld on the television. I was like, I want to do that. And here I am!
Oh, good story.
I've done a mischief!
Thank you, Uncle.
Dan comes in the house. Why the hell is that like that? Dan, I've done a mischief!
We have to start believing as a collective that we're capable of achieving greatness in areas that actually matter. And it's not going to be easy. I'm not up here saying that I've got, I haven't got it figured out. We're just going to have to try. If we're going to get our shit together, it's going to involve some sacrifice. You've got to give up a lot of shit. Stuff like casual misogyny, listening to commercial radio, and going to the horse races. Yes. Sorry, there's no more horse races now. Here's a fun fact. 119 racehorses died last year. 119 racehorses killed while racing. To put that into perspective, that's the equivalent of 6
Craven, no!
football teams worth
Bucky.
of players dying on the field during matches. You reckon if that happened, they'd probably put a stop to the sport, don't you think? It seems a little bit dangerous, or at the very least, unnecessarily cruel. Oh, looks like he's done his hamstring. Oh, that's an Achilles tendon, out for the season of life. I think we should do it. I think we should start killing some Aussie Ballers footy players. Send a message to the racing industry. Tell me what you got first. Who's with me? You all just collectively supported mass murder.
Surveys, mass murder.
See that? Create the right environment. Elicit the appropriate emotional frame of mind. Sprinkle in a few chemicals like dopamine or oxytocin or serotonin. Add some consequences, bit of peer pressure. You can make a person get behind pretty much anything. You can manufacture faith. Anywhere from blind allegiance to true love to the belief that repeatedly hitting a button at an intersection will make the traffic lights change. It doesn't work. You only need to press it once. It's a timed sequence. But there's always someone there, isn't there, just going, charge! Fucking charge!
For the elevator.
Look, the question I'm trying to ask is, right, if, as a species, we're naturally predisposed to collective belief, and if all faith is fundamentally manufactured, why not just create a new religion that's wholly inclusive and prioritises saving the planet, protecting every living species, and growing towards spiritual evolution in this life, not the imaginary next one? That's it, that's the question. People watching this going, geez, you're a self-righteous little shit, aren't you? What are you doing, Randy? What are you doing? Fucking this. This is all I know how to do. This is the only thing I've developed skills for. So if you've got a skill, figure out how to apply it. Do something fucking worthwhile, you cunts. Okay, here we go. I'm going to end on a reading, all right? And then we're going to go off on the night together. Change the fucking world. And with that, Beryl climbed aboard her spacecraft and buggered off.
Bugger it
And the
up.
sapiens were left to ponder their limitless potential. So, said one sapien to another.
I think it's where the eyes come
You
up
think
and
she's
down.
gonna come
No.
Honestly, said the other sapien, I don't know if it matters. We should probably get started on becoming enlightened regardless. Yeah, said the other sapien. I'm sure we'll get around to it eventually. Here ends the lesson. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.
I thought it was going to pan down
Very
from the drone,
nice.
spin around, and the head turns with the eyes open.
Very nice.
What is that?
So nice, so nice.